It's capital
Capital A,
SIKAPE. Yeah,
capital A
capital
P.
APE.
Mm.
All right, so I'm putting for those asking, I seen y'all asking in the chat, but I didn't want to interrupt the brother. The brother's Cash App, Rod Hayes, dollar sign, capital SIK, capital APE. For those who appreciate the brother's work and want to send a donation his way, that is the way to do it. We're gonna get to a couple of Q&A and then we're gonna get out of here, family. But I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got about 3,000 people. Thanks all of y'all for tuning in tonight and listening. Rod Hayes, what damn, I done forgot the question I was about to ask you. I had a question on my mind. I was gonna ask you. Now just forgot what I was about to ask you. But let me get to some Q&A. I want to ask you about what's going on in Europe. We keep hearing about the earth changes that's happening, the downloads that's coming from the sun, the solar flares, this, that. Now there's reports in the news about over 1,900 people dropping dead in Spain because of the heat wave. What's up with the sun, number one? And what's up? What's getting ready to go down with this energy coming from the sun, my brother? Because this is intense right now.
I done an update on Dr. G when I got done doing a task for Big Mama.
Mm, mm,
Soon as I came back from the task, she called me when I walked through the bus door coming from the bus station. And I was telling her about the cycles. Okay, so the Piscean age was the silver cycle, or what we call a lunar cycle. And it is the cycle that facilitates what you call ice ages. We had more than one ice age on Earth, which can be confirmed by the geological surveys. And these ice ages come in the lunar cycles, but when the sun cycle come in, it ushers in what's called the golden age. It's called the golden age for several different reasons, but one of them is that the UVBs and the UVAs, right, that UV rays that's coming in is doing something to the DNA of very specific groups of people. And as the temperatures gonna rise, they can rise as high as on an average of 20 degrees around the world, or as little as 3 to 4 degrees. But it's a temperature increase that comes with a different exposure to the solar rays, and then there's another torsion field that we going through at the Aquarian age that also has a blue field to it, or a blue ray of light that serves the purpose of resetting our DNA.
mm.
And all of this is coming in at the same time as the close of the Piscean age and the emergence of the Aquarian age. So the temperatures of the earth got to rise, and everybody can't take these new temperatures because you're going to have South African temperatures in places like Europe and Asia where those temperatures are not common.
Mm, mm. Wow. All right, let's get to a couple of questions before we get out of here.
Hmm.
Let me see what's going on in the chat room. Somebody said ask about the explosion at the Hoover Dam. You know anything about that?
Yep, that was an energy weapon blast. It followed something called the sighting of Horus. I posted it on my Instagram.
Mm.
And the sighting of Horus was the rising of the phoenix, which is telling us that this shit is a rap, rap, rap.
Mm.
So now we got to brace ourselves for the shock and all of the sudden disclosure, because as everybody know, they got to tell us what was going on in secret now, because we going from that secret squirrel shit in the age of belief to the age of knowing under the Aquarian age, and all of the dirt that they did got to be revealed to the public, so that public will understand what's taking place and why we sending certain people off world to be executed as opposed to here.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Um, they're asking about your Instagram. One of your Instagrams got taken down.
Yeah, Instagram shut my Rod Hayes page down.
Oh man, damn.
All I got now is my Morpheus Mysticus Megas page.
Mm. Oh,
Morpheus is spelled Morpheus.
okay.
Magus, Magus, Mysticus, Mysticus, Magus, Magus.
Mm-hmm.
Morpheus Mysticus Magus.
They said, Rich, can you ask Rod about the Vatican? What's going on with the Vatican? I keep hearing about the Vatican. What's going on over there, Rod?
Those are it was it's closed. It's being all of those priests, pedophile priests, is being rounded up.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing that for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had in the Catholic Church, they got a group of priests that's called the Purists,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Dr. Flager from Chicago, one of them,
Mm-hmm.
Father Flager, you seen him with Farrakhan before,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they believe in the purity of the priesthood is what upholds the integrity of their devotion to the Christ that they believe in. And they believe that the pedophile priests and the nun raping priests are pariahs to the priesthood and they don't want them there.
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones who leaked the paperwork revealing the lengthy sexcapades of the priests
Mm.
from the inside. So they was fighting the same war from a different angle with never knowing that by they was only trying to do what's right, but they believed in a dogma that they didn't know was to use as an oppressive mechanism until they was too deep in. So once they found out what was taking place, because now they've been a priest probably 40 years, they didn't throw their life away if they don't find value in their discovery. And the value in the discovery is there's nothing wrong with living the pious life. And you can believe whatever you want if you strive to live the pious life, which means doing what you know is right in your heart. And so even though they was trapped in the monstrosity belly of the beast called the Vatican Catholic churches, they was the priests that was still trying to do what they knew in their heart was right. And that's what made them leak the information so that something could be done to clean up the Catholic Church.
Mm.
Not for the sake of the Catholic Church, but the sake of the purity of those who choose the lifestyle of priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got different types of priests,
Mm-hmm.
right? You like this, like Credo Mutua was a priest, a shaman,
Right, 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 right.
right? Dr. Sabi is a priest,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's a holistic priest. In our culture, that's what they do. They try to teach you how to find balance with the world around you so that you don't have those things distracting you from your higher thinking, which is going to give you access to living your best life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. They want to know, Rod, how to open ourselves to downloads. You talked about these downloads from Big Mama. How to open ourselves to them.
Well, I give out a couple of suggestions on this. One is to do a body cleanse of your major filters, like your kidneys,
Mm.
your liver and gallbladder, and your intestines. Do a heavy metal cleanse, um, and take spirit baths.
Mm.
Right? It's a book called 105 Spirit Baths, and you can add your own touch to the spirit bath to make the energy more potent.
Mm.
Right? So, from the energy baths, practice grounding to the earth, especially for the women,
Mm,
because now they becoming a Tesla coil, so to speak.
mm,
With so they syncing up. This is called the Sybil effect.
mm,
The sisters are syncing up in order to answer the grievances according to the Akashic record and to mete out justice according to the laws of Mott,
mm,
right? Taking no revenge, but sparing no vengeance,
mm,
right? So they said a double edged sword, which cuts both ways. It cuts to tell the truth and it cuts down the liar,
mm.
right? So we I'm getting off track here. Brain firing too fast. I can't keep up. But the double edged sword is the speaking of the truth that cuts two ways. And when you that's a communication technique. So when you see the language, you also see what's called double speak. Double speak reveals the forked tongue liar.
Mm, mm,
But you don't know his language, you can't reveal him
mm,
because you don't know his language. Once you know his language, then you can reveal him,
mm,
right? Because you can show the secret that was kept in the pale face with forked tongue.
mm.
That means he was speaking on behalf of somebody else, but he was saying what they told him to say,
Right, right, right.
right? We call it talking out both sides of your neck.
But you're right. That's what we call it. That's exactly what we call it. Let's do one more question, yo. Then we're gonna get out of here. Um, I just seen a question. Hold up, yo. What's the best method of developing the spiritual psychic abilities?
Practice, 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 practice. So you have to pick a training tool. The training tool come as oracle devices, tarot cards, scrying mirrors, runes, seashells. As you train to learn to read those things, you training to learn to read the energy that's coming in because the energy affects the oracle reading tool
Mm,
and is projected through your subconscious mind, and that's why you're able to translate it, right? So you get you a control remote viewing manual, and you learn the principles of control remote viewing, um, and then you practice on your own time. Don't nobody have to know what you're doing because you can do it all without saying a word,
right, right.
right? But you keep your own personal record so you can monitor your development,
Mm,
right? So you all of these faculties is natural to the human, and it was the Kali Yuga that allowed us to be subjugated and used against us and weaponized to oppress us.
mm, mm. Indeed. Listen, once again, Rod, I want to thank you for coming on here. I want to share your Cash App one more time before we get out of here. Anything you want to leave the people with before we get out of here, my brother?
Um, this is the part of the game where we close out all of the contracts
Mm,
that's still extant,
mm,
right? And so we need to be watching for the sudden exposure of the revealing of what's taking place. Like they got a county, I think it's in South Carolina, right?
mm,
And the expectation is for that to set the precedent that's going to launch a wave of similar events happening across the nation,
mm,
right? And then we have to watch for the computer from the boy. I don't want to get too much more specific, but those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm
Mm,
talking about.
mm, mm,
So the son's computer is the catalyst. That's the straw that broke the bull's back, and it's being released in different forms. Some forms is parody in order to soften the people up for the full exposure of the content that's going to tie it to another file um, of another guy that's going to tie it to um, a lady from Arkansas.
mm.
All of it is a domino effect. And it's going to go all the way around the world with all of these resigning um, prime ministers and high ministers of the country because they was in on the corruption. And ain't nobody getting out here without paying for their dirt. That's the
Mm.
bottom line.
It's the bottom line, huh?
Right.
Mm,
And so the verification been came in off the Blue Lodge on the A-Tone
mm,
to validate the claim that everything that I was saying for behalf on behalf of our people was accurate, and that I had got all of the tribes on the same page,
mm.
right? By following the instructions that all of the tribes gave in bits and pieces. Like I told you, everybody brought a piece,
Right, right, right.
right? So it's not me who really did it. It's them that did the most work. But I had to do the most work to get all of the works together
Indeed,
in
indeed.
order to see the big picture. That
Mm,
don't make me better than nobody,
mm,
right? That just make me had a different function in our for our people than say another guy that came up in our community.
mm,
My role is different.
mm,
So I had to do a different job a different way.
mm,
And the way that I done it was the only way that it would work,
mm,
because of the patterns that's set in the holographic matrix. These
mm,
patterns is what we have to read in order to solve the problems.
mm,
So we collect the grievances in order to solve the problems of the society going into the golden age to
mm,
usher in an age of wellness and prosperity.
mm,
And this is supposed to release a lot of the previously concealed medical technology that the government was holding back from the people because they couldn't exploit them in the name of insurance,
mm, mm,
right? Like the organ and all of those different things that they label quackery is still proving to perform beneficial healing results. But now we have technology that's so much further advanced than they've been telling us, because they've been getting the technology from our elders that came from all parts of the universe to upgrade Earth at the close of the age, the Piscean age, so that when we usher in the golden age of the sun cycle, we can come in with prosperity, high technology, and now we are grassroots, each one teaching one how to open our spiritual um, senses to receive the spiritual messages without feeling the guilt as if you are insane.
mm. Indeed.
We understand that the fear mongering and the insanity accusations was what was weaponized to use as the security defense for the system to continue to run their tyranny, and the people who spoke up became persecuted for speaking up.
Mm,
So the people who don't want to speak up in the interest of the people shouldn't be speaking at this time, because now it's not about me getting my pocket fat. It's about bringing in global liberation of the people and giving everybody the opportunity to take the destiny of their life in their own hands and create their best life from the prosperity that we are trying to establish. that's gonna be successful because it already is.
Indeed. Thank you once again, my brother, for coming on the platform. Tell me your Instagram, your other Instagram one more time. Cause you
Morpheus Mysticus Magus. That's capital MORPHREEUS, capital MYSTICUS. Went off. How you doing, OG? Oh man, you know me. I don't got nothing to complain about except I ain't got nothing to complain about. I say. You know I can't. This is the first time I'd have been live on Instagram in a minute. Oh man, I'm just putting some stuff out here because a lot of she's been hitting me up and asking me about different little topics, and I wanted to bring them to you. I even brought the book, when Court's in session. I've been doing my little research and wanted to bring some stuff to the tribe that I've been stepping across. Yo pay po yo te fe ta yo pay. So yeah, that's something that they found on the OMAC, on top of the OMAC heads. On top Translate. Yeah. So, and I come to find out this is from another deity called Yo Pay. Yo Pay. So I'm just studying. I've been tapping into this right here. You already know. And you know what, Stone? While you studying that, they got these archaeologists were showing Mayan um, symbols in Egypt, not over here in Kemet, over in northwest Africa or northeast Africa, in the pyramids. They showing actual the same exact shit that's painted in caves. I mean, not in caves, in the temples in Mesoamerica is also present in ancient Kemet. And they in what you call a conundrum. They didn't paint themselves in the corner that they can't get out of. This go for your foundational Black